Hi everyone, I'm Jackie and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make this honeycomb stitch. I think it would look really good to make a pillow with it, maybe a scarf. I haven't made anything with it yet. I just myself have learned this stitch and I thought I'd jump on here and show you how to make it. First off, you're going to want to make a multiple of 3 chains until you get to the length that you want. And when you get there, then chain 1 extra. Now you're going to want to skip that first chain and make single crochets all the way across to the end. Okay, I'm at the end. I'm just making a short one today to just give you a sample of it. Okay, so now we did our multiple 3 chains, an extra chain, skipped the first chain, and double crocheted, or single crocheted, I'm sorry, all the way to the end. Now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1, turn our work. So this is our base. So I'm going to try to make it as simple as I can because where I taught myself, it had like 6 or 7 rows, different steps to do. So I'm going to narrow it down to just making 2 for you to make it simple. So this, I'm just going to call this our base. So now we're going to start row 1 and we're going to do a single crochet the first 2 stitches. Now we're going to do a cluster of 5 double crochets. What that is it's 5 double crochets together. Just yarn over, go into your stitch, yarn over, bring through a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2. And you're going to do this a total of 5 times. You don't complete the double crochet. You just keep continuing it and do 5 of them. And you'll know when you're done when you have 6 loops on your hook. Okay, so I've got 6. So now I'm going to yarn over and go through all 6 of those loops. And on this particular stitch, you're not usually, when you do a cluster, you chain 1 to lock it in place. We're not going to do that here. What we're going to do is we're going to go do single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. It's going to want to curl up on me since I did a short one. And now we did our 2 stitches. So now we're going to go and do our cluster of double crochets. Yarn over, go through, pick up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2, and just do that 5 times total. And when you're done, you'll have 6 loops on the hook. Yarn over. Okay. Now the first 2, or the next 2, we're going to do single crochets there. Okay, and remember, if you start out with the 2 single crochets, you're going to end with a cluster. In the rows that you start with a cluster, you're going to end that row with 2 single crochets. So we started this row number 1, with 2 singles. So we're going to end row number 1 with a cluster. Make sure you go through both loops there. There we go. Our last one. Yarn over, go through all of them. And now since we're at the end, we're going to do our chain 1 and turn our work. And so now we've got row 1 done. And now what we're going to do is you're going to do a row of single crochets between row 1 and 2. So we did our chain 1 and turned our work. Now you're going to want to do a chain or a single crochet right into that chain above the cluster. And do your single crochet. And now do a single crochet in each of those single crochets. And now we're back on top of the cluster. If you turn it like that, you can see it pretty good. It kind of wants to slant on you. So single crochet on top of the cluster, single crochet on top of the single crochets in the previous row. And just do that until you get to the end. Now we're at the end. So now we're ready to start row 2. So we had our base, then we did row 1. We started out with 2 single crochets, and well, it's opposite here, but then we ended with the cluster of 5 double crochets. Then we did our row of single crochets between each row. We got to do a row of single crochets. So I'm trying to get it down to just 2 rows for you. So now we're at the end of the single crochet row. So we're going to chain 1, turn our work. And then for row 1, we started with 2 single crochets. So the second row, we're going to start with our 5 clusters. And you get your 6 loops on your hook. Turn over, go through them. And now single crochet in the next 2 stitches. And now our cluster. And you just do this all the way to the end. Now our 2 singles. Now our cluster. It's an easy stitch when you catch on to it. But it can be kind of confusing when you've got 6 or 7 steps. So that's why I try to narrow it down for you. Okay. So now we're at the end of row 2. We started with the cluster of 5 double crochets. So we know to end that row with 2 single crochets. So now we're going to want to chain 1, turn our work, and we're going to want to put our single crochets on top of that row. There's single crochet on top of the single crochet on top of the single crochet. Now we got to do single crochet on top of that cluster, and just continue this all the way across. And make sure you get it on that top loop of the cluster. And now we're at the end of our row. Be sure to go in the top there. And that's all there is to it. Now you would just chain 1. And since the other row you had your 5 clusters and the single crochet, you're going to start out with 2 single crochets and just keep going on from there. And that's all there is to it. Looks like I pulled my yarn there. So if you make anything out of this, put a picture of it in the comments. I'd really like to see it, whatever you would make. Like I said, I think it would make a really cool pillow. And if you enjoyed my video, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. And thank you for joining me today. Bye-bye.